Well, like I always do, I'm going to give a lot of credit to the fans. I thought fourth home game in a row, great environment. I wondered, what the turnout would be, but I think the weather helped. It was rather electric down there on the field, especially to start the second half. I thought the atmosphere was really, really good for that. And proud of the hunger the team showed. I thought we're really aggressive and played faster, especially on offense, and just looked to be in rhythm a lot better, and really proud of those guys. 6 for 6 in the red area. Did a lot of things better. Could have played better on defense. I give UAB a lot of credit. They did a good job. The offensive coordinator, offensive line coach are good friends of mine, and they're really good football coaches, and they had a good plan there. But the score before the half probably hurt us the most. But I really was just proud of the way our guys played. So I thought we got better this week, and that's the goal. Like our hunger and our hungry theme for this week was be hungry and hungry to get better. Not just hungry to go beat somebody, but be hungry to get better. And I did think the players tried to get better this week.
Congratulations on a 100th win. I mean, that's the 85th win.
Yeah, I wish it was 100 for 100.
Yeah. But, it's a pretty good clip anyway. Was that acknowledged in any kind of way at the end of the game in the locker room?
Nah. On to the next, Chip. You know how that goes. It certainly takes an unbelievable organization, university, athletic department, President Moorhead, Greg, Josh. I mean, all the guys that have been involved in this program make our job much easier by supporting us, and the fans and the people that pay for the tickets and pay for the facilities. We wouldn't have 85 wins out of 100 if we didn't have the organization we have. I mean, the people I work with every day, from Jonas Jennings to Bryant Gant to Scott Sinclair, it's just incredible. So couldn't do that without all the people, including Claude.
Coach, what was the key to the turnaround in the red area this week?
I just think it just happens like that sometimes. I'd love to say it was a perfect call or a perfect play, but I mean, you don't ever control it early in the year. There's not enough opportunities to really measure it. So I told the players, I said, look, guys, all it takes is 3 for 4, 6 for 10 in third downs, and all of a sudden you flip the script because there's just not a lot of data opportunities. And I thought we did that on offense tonight. 10 of 13 third down and 6 of 6 in the red area. So that'll get you well quick.
Coach, how have you seen Carson Beck's confidence grow over the past few weeks?
Well, I've never seen his confidence not grow. He's a confident kid. I think experience brings confidence, and he's gotten some experience. But he didn't lack confidence. That's just not his DNA.
I'm sure you'll want to watch the film, but first full game with that offensive line lineup, just general thoughts on how they looked.
Very similar to how they've been playing. I mean, I thought they were good. I thought that they handled some pressure from the opposing defense. They picked up some things, and when you pick up pressure, you can usually get explosive plays, and that's what led to several of those tonight, was the ability to block people. And if you can protect, then you can make big plays.
Kirby, no Michael tonight. What was the reasoning for that, and what was the impact of his loss?
Yeah, he's sick, and we hope to get him back next week. Hate it because he's a really good player, but he wasn't able to play, and we expect him to be back next week.
Brock, over 2,000 yards. He said he could hardly fathom that coming into school. Is that something you could have fathomed, I assume, when you first came on campus?
Not until I saw him run and catch, and then I could. I mean, he that spring that he got here, probably could acknowledge that might happen because he's that kind of talent. I thought he had a really good night, and deservedly so. He got the crowd into the game, got a lot of juice, hard to tackle, man.
Talk about that. Every player, I think, came up and hugged Eddie Gordon after the game. How special must he be to this entire program, not just the O-line guys?
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, I had to get in line. I couldn't get a hug or a handshake. It was 15 deep, but a lot of respect for Eddie. Like I said earlier in the week, he's one of the guys that you look at as a young coach that held his own and never he didn't back away from being hard on the players, and I think they respected that about Eddie. And he stayed in the organization, got promoted through the organization, and then got an opportunity to go out and do it on his own, and that's what he's doing now. So he has a bright career and a bright future in this business.
Coach, the first 4 games were on the road, first road test coming up in Auburn. How do you feel about that, having 4 games at home and not playing your first road game with 50 games of the season?
Yeah, I would not want to draw it up that way. I really believe in going to play in a neutral site or getting a road game, but there's not a lot of control I have over that either. So it'll be one hell of an environment. They do an incredible job with their fan base. I mean, it's one of the places, I think I probably coached there more than any other location outside of here in Tuscaloosa. It's like, because I always go there here, and I always went there. So it's just, it's an incredible environment. Their fan base is second to none, and they're believing, and then they got a new coach, and they've got a new energy, and they're doing a really good job. So it'll be tough, and we have to prepare that way, and I hope our players acknowledge that.
Coach, what have you seen from that new energy with Hugh Freeze, and first impressions on him and Auburn, and kind of what you guys expect next week?
I don't know if I can answer that fairly because I haven't seen him. You know, I don't know that. I certainly have a lot of respect for Hugh, and I know the coach he is. I know the motivator and the teacher he is. And he gets the players to play really hard for him. They respect him, and they buy in, and they got an incredible staff. So those guys do a really good job.
Coach, I think for the second straight week, the defense gave up a 2-minute drive right there before the half. What went wrong, I guess?
A lot went wrong. I mean, we missed tackles, didn't communicate well, bad eye control. What's sad is that, you know, Schumann and the defensive staff do an unbelievable job of scripting plays before the game. There's about 70 play walkthrough we do, and they hit on almost every one of them, and they out-executed us. I mean, just at the end of the day, they did their job, and we didn't do our job as good. And we had 2 chances, I thought, for sacks, and we missed them. We didn't finish on the quarterback. He's a big, thick kid, thick lowers. We missed those, and a couple of times I think we're just a little too timid. I mean, we didn't want to rough the passer, and they want to hit somebody late. And I'm like, get him on the ground, you know. And we missed those opportunities. So you do that, and you sustain drives.
How big of a challenge is it to not have Javon out there, and have you guys have to kind of adjust without him?
Well, it's hard not having him out there. He's a good player. He's a field general. He's a communicator. But I don't know that we've had to adjust with him not being out there. You can't adjust. Your defense is your defense. You know, you don't like change your defense because Javon's not there. We've had to plug and play. So Dan and David Daniel have both stepped up and played. So I mean, you can't cry about it. You got to get your big boy pants on and go play.
Kirby, I know you guys have a certain standard that you want to play to. How close do you think you guys are getting to, reaching that?
Spurts. You know, I really thought the offense played to the standard tonight. It'd be hard to argue they didn't. And defense played in spurts. I mean, it was the closest we came to, I don't know what you want to call it, but standard. You know, not domination or not what we want, but it was much better in spurts of the standard we're there.
What do you want the offensive identity to be for this team?
Explosive, get after it, ability to run and pass, move the pocket. I mean, what I feel like we are. So like I told y'all all along, I'm very pleased with the practice, the organization, the plans, what they do. It's been good. It's been great. I got no complaints. I wish we were a little healthier, you know. And I don't think people acknowledge the difference in Darnell, Kenny, Roderick. I mean, there's a lot of dudes, Ladd, not out there. Kendall. I mean, there's a lot of people missing, and these guys don't stop and complain and whine about it. We find a way. I mean, as a coach, you have to be agile, mobile, and you've got to be flexible. So that's what we've had to do.
Kirby, the early decision to go for it on 4th down, just a predetermined pre-game mindset in that area of field?
Just feel like that situation, we got as good a chance of, analytics would say 85%, and maybe the field goal's 85%. So why not go for the 4 more points, you know?
Coach, you had, Ryan, you talked about Kilo being out, 2 of your top 3 running backs. Was that kind of why it was more pass heavy in the beginning of the game? They didn't have that running?
I don't know if that had to do with it. I feel good about Dejon, Dylan, Cash, and Andrew. I think it's more about how we wanted to start and what we wanted to do and what the defense gives you.
What was the explanation you got on that defensive penalty? It looked like they jumped, and they called it on Georgia.
It said we were simulating a snap count. That we were.
Was it a clap, or were they just were your guys moving, and that's what the officials called?
Yeah, that's what they call it. I mean, it's really deep and complicated. I'd rather not have to get into it and do all that. But
do you have any update on McConkey or Milton and their health?
The only update is they weren't available today, and I'm hopeful to get them back. I mean, I can't, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Kendall was not like a game time decision. We didn't feel like he was healthy enough to go. Will he be back? I don't know that. Lad, he's been running this week. He's been cutting. He got to run today and work out this morning and do some things. He's been in a black shirt, so we're hopeful.
You had a late night game. Did you have an opportunity to catch any of Oregon, or will you talk to Dan or send him a message or anything out of that game this afternoon?
No, I hadn't seen any really other games than what was on the screen of ours. I mean, I hadn't seen any other games.
Not having all those offensive players you named, the guys that are in the NFL and the guys that are banged up, how important is it to have two guys like Brock and Marcus that can help a young quarterback like Carson?
Well, it's not just Brock and Marcus. It's everybody. I mean, it's everybody. It's Oscar Delp has been invaluable. He's been healthy, number one, and he's worked really hard to improve. He's improved his blocking skills. You know, not being healthy at that position has been tough, and the wideouts have been in and out, in and out, in and out. So, you know, Marcus didn't practice all week and just got cleared barely for the game, or we were going to be without him. So it's I look at it as there were 6 starters that were out today, and probably 6 twos. You know, so it's just. It is what it is. We've got to do a good job and adjust to it. I'm not going to sit up here and cry about it. There's other teams in the SEC that's got the same problem.
I know you talked about needing to run the ball in the red zone to be successful. Just how much better do you feel like out there in that area tonight? I can't remember if you said 6% to score a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we did. I don't know how many of them were rushes and how many of them were throws. I guess he had 3 touchdown passes, and I don't know how many of those came from the red area. So, I mean, it seemed like we ran it better. We kept people off balance, you know, and usually the equation is if 19 touches the ball, good things happen.
Kirby, Chip alluded to the 100th game, and you referred to longevity and people around you. But I mean, you've got more wins than Saban, Spurrier, Bear Bryant in that time frame. I mean, do you allow yourself any grace or on that?
That's pretty steep company when you start talking about those people. I probably had an easier schedule, so.
Coach, you mentioned the last 2 weeks, both teams bringing some pressure. Is that both of those teams' identities, or is pressure something you think you guys might be getting the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it's a little uptick. I mean, I think South Carolina probably did about as much as they do, to be honest. They were a pressure team. These guys probably copied some of that and did a little more than they normally do. And hey, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody that works as hard as we do in the country at picking it up. If you pick it up, there's explosives out there, and you got to be able to do that.
With the offense, very first play, Carson hits Dom, I think it was 30 yards. How big of a boost do you feel like that was immediately? Kind of have a big play, get everybody going.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I wish that we had the other ones that were there. You know, we had several other we left on the field, and we worked really hard on those plays. And you know what? It's going to come together, and it's just a matter of when. And we work really hard on those explosives. Right now in the SEC, the most unique stat there is plus or minus ratio on explosives versus plus or minus ratio on turnovers. And you would think turnovers are greater indicators, but explosives are greater indicators of win-loss, of how much more you're explosive than your opponent. So you got to find ways to be explosive.
Is there anything more harmful than special teams turnovers?
Any turnovers. Like, what's the difference in a special teams turnover and a offensive turnover? Turnovers are awful and harmful, and I feel like there's this uncanny emphasis on getting the ball off people now on special teams and defense. And we continue to not get it. Like, we had one tonight, we just didn't get it. But, you know, we had 2 on special teams that were just, you know, costly. You can't do that in our league and win games, so we better fix it.
Even when he's healthy.
Able to dress out today, how close is he to getting to it?
Yeah, I don't know how close he is. The clearance was like, okay, he's back, he's running, he's doing routes on air, he's in a black jersey, he hasn't hit anybody. All right, tonight, took another step, and he ran this morning hard. I mean, we want to get him ready. We're hopeful he's ready to go, but it's also, man, has not practiced football in 6 weeks, you know, so that's hard.
Even when he's healthy, you've talked about having to rein Lad in from working too hard. How tough has this been on him mentally to not be out there? And do you have to, like, calm him down trying to get back?
He's right out there, man. This dude is like on the sideline right by me, high-fiving me, talking to the players. I mean, he is a gym rat to the word. It's killing him not to be out there. And I can only imagine if that's I forget what year it is for him, third, fourth year in the program, and you're just, you're not able to go out there and help. And it's all he wants to do. So that's been hard on him. And, hopefully he gets healthy enough to help us.
What'd you see from the young cornerbacks?
I wanted to be able to do more of those guys and go in and play, but with the injury situation, in any other year we'd be like out there playing, being aggressive, running the offense. But it's like, well, I can't put him in. I can't put him in because he's the only guy I got. He's the only guy I got. If I lose him, I don't have anybody. So you're trying to make a decision as a coach. Do I get to develop the quarterback and leave the twos in, or that kid might need to play next week? So that's frustrating that we don't get to go out there and do more with them. But I thought Brock had a good drive in there, and Gunner had a tough situation right there on the bootleg, but he's going to make a nice run on the draw.
Let's take two more questions.
When it comes to the explosive plays, you guys had just under 600 yards tonight, and it was noticeable the amount of yards after the catch, yards after contact. How much dangerous does it make your offense when you have guys who can make plays like that on the outside, especially getting that hidden yardage?
Yeah, if they're clicking on all cylinders, look, I think we've got a good defense. I mean, I don't know if it's great, but we've got a good defense. And there were times this fall camp that we struggled, that they were explosive and they were getting after it. And when they're in rhythm, they're good. Now we've also rolled some eggs out there and not looked real good at times. So I know what they have the potential to be. It's will they realize that and execute at a high level.
Last question, anybody?
Coach, I saw right before the game you had some words with Warren Brinson right as you guys were walking out the tunnel. What message do you want to send to a guy like as you're going out on the field like that?
Well, he got an opportunity. I think he started tonight. I'm not sure, and I told him that he'd earned it and that he should go out and play with confidence because he's been in this program a long time and he works really hard. And I've been really proud of his work effort. Work ethic has gotten so much better, and just told him, hey man, you earned this. Go enjoy it.